What's going on, everyone? It is Emmanuel. Emmanuelです. How are you? 元気ですか? So, today, それとも、それから、昨日は、多分、today or yesterday marks my first year living and working in Japan. So, I wanted to make a video that goes in detail of how I came to Japan and why. And so I'm just going to talk here. If I'm not looking at the camera all the time, I'm cutting out these cards, these coin cards, because I am now working as ALT in two schools, and I made a prize system where students are active, do their work, do well in test scores, talk to me, whether English only, English, Japanese, Japanese, English, they can get, points. And I made these, like, draw, because I am still artist and musician, more on that. So, and they can win art that I have drawn. So, like, example, like this Zenitsu. This, I think he's like 75 points, 50 whatnot. Another example, Conan. Even we got a Goku now. So I got several, but so that's what I'm doing. So how did I come to Japan? Simple. Kept applying for jobs and eventually got a yes, and I'm here. Some people do that. They just kind of say, like, the steps they did and boom. But I want to kind of give the prerequisites. So, I'm sorry if this becomes a very long video. Shouldn't be too long. I'm going to try not to ramble on too much. But, so, I started, well, I graduated with my bachelor's degree. I can't English much. My bachelor's degree in 2015, and it was in design. And for me, that was a big thing because from 2012 to 2015, 16, I was married, but the marriage did not work out well. Um, there was a lot of um, verbal abuse and a little bit of physical at first. I think, probably can't see it. I have a mark left um, from about, and honestly, I can say that in those altercations, I never like hit or pushed, and I never like physical abuse is harmful, but verbal, mental abuse does way more damage. Anyway, so I finished my degree in the middle of my marriage, and for me, that was a big step. I wanted to finish my degree personal. At first, it was to please family, friends, when I started, but as I got older, it's like I wanted to do it for me to see if I could finish it. So I did, and that was a big like boost for me. But after my marriage, my divorce, I was living in the apartment that we had, um, which was all under my name, and so I again this is all prerequisite. Like it, don't worry, it's going somewhere. And I was working as a web designer with a pretty cool team and team of friends I went to college with as well. And at that time, I had decided to find my own happiness, my own purpose in my life. During the time before, like I was prior service, Army, deployed, all that stuff, and also a ordained minister, reverend. So my life, I kind of try to find a medium area that will please family, friends, and whatnot, and but that slowly ate at me over time. Also, with kind of just staying in the same spot over and over for years and years and years, being humble never been a problem, but just when you feel like there's no growth, like, and you're putting in work, that over time kind of eats at you, no matter who you are, what you do. So after the marriage and everything, like something just clicked, and I was like, just no more. I want to find my happiness, my purpose, while doing what I can to encourage others. Because I don't want anyone that I know, or just anyone in general, to go through or feel things that I felt and still feel and deal with. So, um, so then I began searching. Like, one thing I wanted to get out of where I was living, and I don't know whose video I saw, but somewhere on YouTube, just like, oh, I live and work in Japan. I was like, that's cool, because I at that point, at that time, I liked the culture, that and the Latin culture, because I it, I had been on many cruises for vacation, and over time, it changed from enjoying the cruise to enjoying seeing the locals, meeting locals, talking to locals, like wanting to know more about them, not the fancy vacation sites. No, that's not the real place, the real people. That's just for show. And it just grew from there. So before I even moved to Japan, you know, I like things as far as the food. Of course, being an artist, I had chose a few years ago to focus on the manga and anime style as an artist because it has affected me the most when compared to Western style comics and animations and the stories as well. Um, but I just remember I just started learning more about the cultures, but also I started to study the language um, because I like languages. I know English is like one of the biggest languages, business, all that good stuff, but it's boring to me. Um, and I just want to communicate with people in their native language. So, and this all was kicking off around 2016, 2017. And I had decided, because again, this time I did not know I was going to be here. It was not even on the radar yet. But I had decided, because I wanted to move to California, like to really pursue my creative career. Because my music, it just kind of stalemated. So I had decided to let go of living on my own, which I enjoy. And I moved back home. I think around the end of 2016. Moved back home with my parents so I could try and save money and move. So did that, and it was cool. There'll be times I'm like, oh, I need my spend, which is normal. But I made that sacrifice thanks to me kind of getting into listening to Gary Vee. I probably put a link to his stuff. Whatever links, whatnot, I'll probably put them in the description. And, a lot of things he said make sense. So to kind of move forward, sometimes you have to give up things. You have to give up certain lifestyles or what have you. So move back home, and then within the next year, so 2017, 18, just worked at Amazon while still being like artist, musician, and learning more Japanese culture and finding out more about, working in Japan. And then it was the Um, 2018 JET or 2019. I tried applying to JET. I think for 2018. Yeah, no, 19. I can't remember. And I mean, I really put forth everything in that. And I appreciate the people on the other end working with me because getting transcripts from one of my colleges was just a hassle. Um, and of course, the Jets, I did not get accepted, which was a bummer. But I kind of took a break from submitting or looking for teaching jobs. Um, and then, like after a month or so, I would look again, maybe see something for ACIWA or ALT, try submitting. I got several no's, got a couple of interviews, but several no's. Um, and I even tried like Nova and it's another one. Got interviews, but didn't get accepted, and I felt and that one kind of hit. And I was like, these are kind of very entry level, you know, and I still didn't get in. Uh, but now I'm thankful that I didn't because at that time I really was trying to just get out, not fully escapism, but I just wanted to go. And if I would have left during that time, it might have been I would not have been ready. As I say, God knows when you are ready and when you're not ready. So I just kept doing my daily grind. And let's see. I guess why did I want to go to Japan like and not some other country? I guess for one is that there's already things that drew me to the culture in Japan. So excuse me. So I wanted to try to hit there um, first. Like I said, the art styles, nature, the people, um, some of the history, um, really would catch my attention. So, and I just kind of was thinking in the future, like big dreams of maybe one day, like having a little studio, like an indie game dev studio, making indie games. Because I still had and have that idea of making whether comics or games where most of the main characters are people of color and mostly like women because you don't see it often. So, and then also maybe teaching art and music to the people, but especially children that might not have the opportunity because of mostly of money. So I was really looking like the culture people like this area, and then on this side like opportunity. Um, so it's kind of like pieces of my why. So I kept plugging, but then I stopped because, like I said, after the Nova thing and a few others, like it hit hard. I was like, because I struggle with self doubt all the time. That's one of my poisons. Um, but I would stop, be like, forget it, whatever. But like a week or two later, I'm still looking at YouTube videos, people in Japan and stuff like that, or I'm still scouting job boards. So eventually, a friend that lives in Japan who was working as a teacher, well, I know his wife because we went to high school, graduated high school together, and me and them, we kept in touch. And he would let me know if like there's an opening or something. And there was an opening for a job he worked at when he first came to Japan. So he submitted my info for that, and like a month went by. And this is 2019, around fall, and then he contacts me and says, "Hey, that position, yeah, they they're gonna need a teacher, pretty soon. So if you're still interested." And I was like, "Why not? Sure." So I ended up having interview, and the interview went well. Small Eikaiwa, only two teachers. Interview went real well, and it was like, "Hey, you got it. You got the position." But the catch was that I need to be in Japan fairly quick. So I was like, "Okay, so can you give me a month? Because usually when you move, like move across the world, you got to prep, mentally prep, financially prep, everything prep. Like, and so I was like a month. I was like, nah. I was like, okay, 2 weeks. It's gonna push me. Okay, 1 week. I was like, can you do it? I was like, yeah, I'll do it. So I had 1 week to move to Japan. Uh, Crazy, right? Even I knew it was crazy. 1 week. And that week was already crazy because that week my parents were going on their anniversary cruise. So after that interview, I only had, I think, 2 days, 2 or 3, 2.5 or 3 days, and then they were gone on the cruise. And then the last part of that week is just me, just by myself, getting ready and going. So, like, mentally, like, I had no time to prep. Um, but like some people will be like, well, no, this is it's too tough. It's not in God's time. It's like I'm like, if again, if you are ready for something, whether you believe in God or not, if you believe in the universe, but if you are ready for something, it's going to open. If you are not, it's not going to open. But the thing is, when it opens, it's never going to be easy. You know, is it worth it? Yes, in the long run, but you can't see that yet. So it was crazy. This adrenaline rush and sadness, but it's like I I would regret it if I didn't take it. Like considering how 2019 leading into 2020 has gone, oh, I really would have regretted it. So that's the initial boot into Japan, and I can just remember being calm on the way. Like getting to Japan, was fairly easy. Even though when I landed in Narita, then I took a bus to Haneda, then Haneda to where I was living. I lost my wallet. Well, I didn't lose it; it fell out of my pocket on the bus. But like I didn't freak out. Like not at all. I did not freak out at all because I had my passport, which the passport is much more important than license stuff like that. So I kind of used the Japanese I did kind of know to speak with like the officer in the airport and see if I could go back through security and whatnot to try to find it. But I couldn't, so I was like, I'll just let it go. But eventually, the bus company, like when they check it at the end of the day, they found it and they shipped it to my work, um, which was cool. So yeah, but that's how I came to Japan. I've been here for a year. I worked in Kiowa for from September to roughly June, and then now ALT. If interested, I will do a separate video on my Eikaiwa work, like how that was, and how certain things and students really made an impact on me. and maybe a video of like there's been some opening some opportunities art wise, and it's especially music, performing, all that jazz. Remember that word. But I've talked too long. 20 minutes. 20 minutes. Yeah. So, if you have any questions, please just drop in the comments. I'll answer them. Is there anything else? Uh, hmm. Right now, traveling and doing things just now just is not a good time to do it. But that doesn't mean to stop preparing for what you want to do in the future because you never know. You honestly never know. Like I never knew this would happen. Um, kind of wanted it, and then boom, it was like here it is. But then here is like you have to step out of your comfort zone. Being in your comfort zone is fine. If you are fine in your comfort zone, good to go. But if you are the type that you want to do more, you have to realize you have to step out of that comfort zone. You can't achieve your greatest your greatest things that you are meant to do in life by staying in that comfort zone. You have to get out of it. It does not feel good at all. You know, being scared, even fear, nervousness, anxiousness, everything. It's part of it. It's part of it. It's what builds you. So don't be afraid to step out of that, and don't let people that are close to you, strangers, don't bother you as much. It's the people that are close to you that can affect you and make you stop or change your mind about what is in your heart to do, what is meant in your life to accomplish. Because they gave up. Somebody in the past made them give up. So they wanted that traditional curse keeps going. But thank you for listening to me ramble. I still have maybe 100番 違う5番 maybe 50 more of these to cut out. But I'm going to stop and do some other work and take it easy. Be safe. Please be safe. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace. じゃ、またね。